The last card you have for your past is the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm seeing this quite literally, actually. It looks as if you were spread quite thinly, probably financially. I think there might have been two big areas where you were trying to keep up with things. I think there was something, one of these things might have been from way back in your past. I think you're probably still dealing with something from back then. And, you know, the other thing, I think you just had your normal commitments, financial commitments that you had. So I think whatever this thing from the past is, there's a lot of tension around that. And a lot of tension that happened in your past because, you know, and you're dealing with this financially, but there was tension in your past with this, if that makes sense. Because if you look at this man, if you look behind him, there's this wavy sea, so there's up and down emotions and clashes as well with these two ships that are about to clash. So I think it might be something. Maybe this is around a past relationship and you might have financial commitments to that. It might be a divorce or something to do with children maybe. There's an interesting thing that I'm seeing here actually. I'm just going to say this. I'm seeing you making a choice. And I don't think it was a very popular choice. And this is around love. And I'm picking up on a lot of disapproval, actually. There was a lot of pressure here as well. And it feels like family pressure, family disapproval. It doesn't have to be, but that's what I'm seeing. And I think when you chose this person in love, this connection, it feels like you were going against people. Now, this love connection I'm seeing here is very different to the one where you have this financial commitment to. This is a different person. Okay, so yeah, I'm just looking at these waves again. So there's this big tide, this big wave coming in with all this pressure, and it was like you had to face the pressure. And I don't know if you're even with this person anymore. You're probably not. That's what I'm getting. But I think because you went with your heart and you went against these people, I think that might have been the start of you feeling a lot more liberated. It kind of feels like, okay, I've stood my ground, and, you know, and now that I've done that, I can kind of do whatever I want. It kind of opened up the floodgates for you to be a lot more independent, or that was how you felt anyway, I think. And, you know, this card can be about not being taken seriously sometimes as well. And I think maybe that was what it felt like with these people around you. And I think this was family, actually. And I think once you stopped doing what these people expected of you, I think that's when they started taking you a little bit more seriously. Because quite often when we do the unpopular thing that's the right thing for us, we end up with more respect from these people in the end. They weren't happy. They weren't happy, but they did give you more respect. That's what I'm getting. So I think that's probably what happened with you. So yeah, it was a big turning point for you, because I'm seeing turning point with these pentacles kind of turning around. So I think that's what happened. Okay, so the next card you have your past, the Five of Cups. Okay, yeah, this is what I'm seeing. I think it really took a lot for you to be with this person, this love connection. I think there were a lot of negative comments and things around this. I think when it was known that you were with them, these comments came out, just a lot of negativity. There was a lot of negativity around you at that time. And I think for a long time you just kept to yourself, and I think you felt as if you had to do that. You just didn't want to be around any of that negativity. I don't think you were shunned from your family. It wasn't anything like that. You were on the outside looking in for a while, I think, because that's kind of the feeling I'm getting. I'm on the outside looking in. I can't get in. And yeah, I think there might have been some events, maybe family events. And it's not like you weren't invited, but I think you just ended up just not wanting to go because of all the stress and the pressure. So I think things have probably settled down a bit now, but there's still tension. There's still some uneasiness between you and not all your family, but some people. And yeah, again, I don't think you ended up staying with this person, this love connection. And yeah, there was all this pressure around you, but I don't think that was why you separated. There's a lot of stress around an ex of theirs. I'm seeing a bit of aggression, a bit of anger around that, heavy feeling around that as well. So I think you had other problems as well. And, you know, if you had family pressure around that as well, that, of course, that even though it wasn't the sole cause of all of that, it wouldn't have helped to have that extra pressure as well. So what I'm seeing here is, I don't know whether you want to hear this or not. And I don't know what stage you're at with this, but I think you are actually going to contact this person again, or they're going to contact you. You're going to connect in some way, I think, because there's this bridge on this card, and obviously, so that's about connecting again, going across the bridge again. So one of you is going to do that, I think, connect again. And yeah, the bridge is over a river as well. So if you do want to connect again, you're going to have to work through a lot of emotion before you can cross over that bridge. So it's not going to be easy. Okay, and I'm just seeing this as well. I think this person's an ambitious person. I'm seeing a lot of work, ambition, you know, this ex-love of yours, and they're outgoing as well. I'm seeing that as well. And I think part of you does miss having that spark around you, that dynamism around you. But, you know, whether that's worth going through all this again with them, you know, that's up to you. It'll be up to you at the time when this connection happens again. But yeah, you're definitely connecting again. Absolutely. You're definitely connecting again on some level anyway. I don't know what it is, but you are going to connect. Okay, so the last card you have your past, the Lovers. Yeah, so this is showing me a similar thing. I think you made this choice in love, and it was definitely a heart versus head decision, because I think you knew that you were going against a lot of people to do this, and so it was a heart decision, absolutely. And I'm getting this feeling that generally, not just in love, but in all areas, you might have some family members. I think this is probably parents or a parent or something, might be one or both of your parents. They're very particular about how they want their children to be. That's what I'm getting here. So, you know, it's like they like things, and they like people's lives, especially their children's lives, to be sort of neat and packaged. So it's like, for example, they want to be able to say, you know, this is just an example. Oh, my son's a lawyer, and he has a wife and 2 children, and they own a nice neat house, and everything's all nice and clean and neat and all of that kind of thing. So it's kind of like that. Does that make sense? I hope it does. But yeah, anything that goes outside of these kind of neat little boxes, it's not easy for them to cope with. They can, but they struggle. And I think with this relationship that you had, that was outside of these neat little boxes, you know, that they kind of had inside their head. And you know, like most normal lives, yours doesn't follow a neat box, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you know that. Most people don't follow a neat box. There might also be a religious element to this. You know, obviously this is the Garden of Eden, so this family, these people might struggle with people who are outside of their religion or their belief system or whatever that is. So that might have been a factor as well. So I'm seeing that there as well. Okay, so the first card you have your presence, the World. Yeah, I love this card. Fantastic card. There's a lot of freedom here. Look at this woman. She's so free. So I think this is about your freedom that I think you got when you made this turning point. So it's about you're kind of free now. You can do what you want. You feel as if you can. You could anyway, but now you feel like you can. You don't have to follow these rules of your family or whoever. I'm not going to get into religion. I don't want to do that here. But yeah, I think there are some other family members. Yeah, I'm seeing a few different ones here. I'm seeing maybe siblings, cousins, people that are in the same age range as you. I'm seeing one person who's sort of, they've also kind of broken away from this in their own way as well. I think they might have actually moved to another country or very far away or something, so they don't deal with that now. There's also another person, and maybe this is a sibling, because I think they used to be quite close to you. I'm actually seeing, this is what I'm seeing. I know this is strange, but I'm seeing a bed, and I'm seeing you playing under a bed with someone as a child. Very innocent, in a very innocent way, very nice. So this is probably a sibling that you were playing with, I think. And yeah, I think they might like their status in the family, if that makes sense. It feels like, I'll try to explain this. It's like they're thinking something like, everyone else has gone astray, I'm the only one doing the right thing. I'm the only one that my family can be proud of. So it's kind of like that, and it's like that's what they're thinking. It's like, I'm the one that stayed, I've done the right thing, everyone else has gone their different ways, and the family's kind of not happy with them, but they are with me. So it's that. So if that makes sense to you. So, and of course, if they want to do whatever they want to do, that's absolutely fine, of course, it's up to them. But it feels like someone's comparing kind of where they are in this sort of family hierarchy compared to where you are. And to you, there isn't any hierarchy. People just make their own choices, as you know. And to you, you make your choice, they make theirs, whatever, it doesn't matter. You don't even think about that. But and I think you did at one time, though, because I think you're in all this kind of hierarchy thing, not hierarchy thing, but kind of like, oh, I must do the right thing, that kind of mentality. So I think when you had that kind of mindset, you were really close, and you're probably close growing up. And now you're fine, you talk to them and there's no problem with them, there's no issue with them, but you're not as close as you were because they're still in the old, I have to do what I'm told thing. And that's fine. I'm not blaming them. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them. That's absolutely fine. If they're happy with that, that's fine. But you as an individual, you are not. And you moved on from that. And that's why you're not quite as close as you were. That's what I'm seeing. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, so the next card you have your presence, the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, a couple of things here. I was seeing some money struggles or juggling your money and all of that in the 2 of Pentacles. And I think you're dealing with this quite well. I think things are okay with you money-wise. It feels okay, just okay. But I think things might have been a bit better for you in the past money-wise. I think maybe something happened, there was some problem that came up, and I think maybe you had to do something like, get a job quickly, and maybe it didn't pay as much or something like that, so you just had to get anything. And so maybe you have this job now and everything's fine, you're kind of paying everything you need to pay and it's okay. But I think you probably look back on the past and where you used to be financially, and you do feel a little bit of a loss there. You kind of look back and say, oh, I wish things were like that now. I don't think you want to go back to the way you were at that time generally, but I think maybe just financially you feel like, oh, I wish I could have that, again. So, okay, what I'm seeing here is I think there is an extra thing that's coming in for you. It's some kind of work, but I don't think it's a separate job. It looks a bit like a contract or something like that. It's not long term, but it's something you can do separately. And this is really going to help you out, I think. And I think this will probably lead to other things as well, because the 10 of Pentacles can be about building things up slowly, one thing leading to another, obviously financial gain and a slow build up of, savings and all kinds of things like that. So I think this opportunity, that's going to lead you to more things as well. And I think also you'll gradually be able to get back to where you were financially in the past. So this is a really, really nice gradual boost to your income. And I'm trying to say gradual all the time, and slow and all that thing, because it's going to be slow. It's not going to happen overnight. So, just know that as well. Again, there's this family. So there's family on this card as well. And these coins look a little bit like a barrier between us and the family. So there's still that barrier there. I think you're fine. I think you talk to people. It's not like you're not talking to them. Everything's okay. But you're not as close as you were. And I'm just looking at these crests. There are these kind of family crests on the wall, and it just makes me think of, family honor, and if you're in this family, you do this, we all do this. So, you know, there's still that attitude hanging around, I think, with older family members that, you know, everyone in our family has to be like this, and if they don't do this, they're kind of not one of us, that kind of thing. And I don't think you're kicked out. Once again, you haven't been kicked out or anything really serious like that, but you do feel that barrier. So yeah, I just wanted to show you those crests because that's what I was seeing with that. All right, so the last card you have your presence, the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, okay, so in the Two of Pentacles, again, I was seeing this, you're having to pay towards something that happened in the past. I'm not seeing debts here, but it was something, there's some kind of financial hangover from the past. Again, I was seeing it might be a relationship. I'm not sure what it is. I don't think you owe someone anything. I think it might be, or it might be that, or it might be a business decision that you made that caused these financial problems. I don't know, it was something. So yeah, again, this is showing you that it is going to take time for you to get back to what you were, where you were financially in the past. And I think you might be a little bit sad about this. You might even be like, oh, am I ever going to get this back again? I'm in this position. It's not as good as it was. You know, that's kind of what I'm getting around this. So the message I'm getting in here is don't despair of this. Don't make this feel worse than it actually is. You know, things aren't as good as they were. I can see that, but it's not that bad. You know, you're paying everything, you're doing everything you need to do. It's okay. It's fine. You're kind of, you know, you're swimming along. You're okay, and you have this other opportunity coming up for you as well. And again, with this opportunity, it's going to take some problems away, but it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to click your fingers and be fantastic. It's gradual, and that's why you have to keep on emphasizing that to you. But you know, you're holding things together now. It's not as bad as it looks. That's what I'm getting here. Because if you look at this Two of Pentacles, it looks as if he's kind of about to fall over and drop everything, but no, he's holding these coins together. He's holding things together. So you're holding things together. So don't feel as if things are terrible. They're not. They're fine as they are, and they are going to get better. That's what I'm seeing. The other thing I'm seeing here is, you know, you've had all these, or you still do, I think, you have all these practical things you're taking care of, financial things, other stresses, all of that kind of thing. What I'm seeing is you also have quite a deep spiritual side, a very deep spiritual side, and it's something that's very personal to you. It's inside you, and I don't know what this is, whatever this means to you. And I think what's happened is because you've had all these stresses and everything and practical things, you might have put that aside while you're dealing with these things. Like, I don't have time to kind of, I don't know what it is, meditate, worship, whatever it is you do. I don't have time for that. I'm putting it aside. I'm dealing with these practical things, and then I'll bring that back later. If that resonates with you, I think you probably should think about turning that upside down and thinking of it in the opposite way. So if you put your spiritual side first and you kind of work through whatever you need to, if you meditate, if you pray, I don't know what you do, whatever it is, do all of that, do that first, and that will give you the insights, the inspiration, and the calmness, the calm feelings that are going to help you to cope with all these things. So I think that might be how you want to look at this, and I think that'll help you if that's something that you want to do and that resonates with you. So that's just a thought, just something to think about. Okay, so the first card you have your future is the Six of Cups. Okay, this can be about reunions. It's a very light, very peaceful, very nice card. So yeah, I think there is going to be a time when you are going to connect again with this love connection. I think it'll probably start off as a really slow, peaceful connection. It's not going to be face to face. I'm not seeing that. There are going to be messages, and they're little messages. They're kind of neutral, a little bit cautious. There's a lot of respect in these messages, so it's kind of like, oh, I'm kind of testing the waters. I want to be on my best behavior. So there's all that kind of thing. Very, very careful. Okay, I'm seeing something else here. I think there was something that was said, a statement, a quote that they said, something that they said, not a quote from someone else, it was something they said, and I think something that they've said always stayed on your mind. Now, I don't know if you went through a time with them when you were a bit backwards and forwards, or maybe you were discussing your relationship when you're on the verge of separating. It might have been that. It's something like, it's obviously not these exact words, but it's something like this. It's something like, I don't want to go backwards, I don't want to go back, I don't want to go back there. It's something like that. Now, I think what they were saying might have been something referring to something else, or something a little bit different to what you were thinking. So I think you might have missed the context of what they were saying. To you, it might have felt like, I don't want to go back to you. But I actually think it might have been something a bit different from that. And, context can be really important. If you've ever heard a quote being taken out of context, it can change the whole meaning. So I think that might have happened, or you might have misheard them or something, or maybe you took what they said as meaning something different. It's something like that. And I actually think you felt as if they were unhappy with you or angry or something. And I think they actually had a much warmer, softer attitude, or warmer, softer feelings towards you than you thought at the time. So I just wanted to say that to you, because I think you carried something around in your head. It's some kind of thing they've said. And if that resonates, think about that again, and think about other things that might mean, where you might have misheard that, or taken it the wrong way or something. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And if you do want to get back into a relationship, I think listening carefully, that's going to be a big key here for you and for them, I think, as well. Okay, so the next card you have you features the High Priestess. Okay, so a few things here. Again, I think this is about listening, talking, listening. So again, if you're going to renew things with this love connection, listen really carefully. Listen to what they're saying, not just what you want to hear. That might sound harsh, but I think that might have been a problem, not just on your side, but on both sides, actually. I think you both misheard things or misinterpreted things. There's a lot of miscommunication, taking things out of context, not listening properly, all of that. And, if you want a fresh start, if that's what you both want, you can't do things in the way you used to do, the way you did things last time, because obviously it didn't work last time. So things have to be different. I'd love to be able to tell you how this is going to end, but I can't see that. All I can see is when you do connect again, the start of this, when you get together, I'm seeing little texts, very kind of polite, nice texts, very warm, very nice. And then that turns into more in-depth conversations. That's all I can see. I don't know what's going to happen after that, because there are a lot of things that could happen. It just depends on so many things. But if it does turn into something serious, you'll definitely feel a lot stronger this time, especially when it comes to your family. If they start to say things, or anyone else outside of this connection, you're going to be very, very strong, and you're going to stand up against any of that this time if this happens. Okay, so the last card you have in future is the Knight of Cups. Yeah, again, this is about love. This is about this reconnection. I think when you get together the first time, or when you got together the first time, I should say, I think it might have been quite fast. I'm seeing things happening really quickly, progressing quickly, just happening. It's like, oh, it just happened. It was like a whirlwind, magical. That's how it feels. I know that sounds strange, but it's like, I don't understand why I'm drawn to this person. I just am. I just have to be with them. That's kind of how it feels. So yeah, this time things are going to be a lot slower. You're both going to be feeling a lot more cautious, I think, and yeah, it just feels very careful, very polite, very gentle. That's what it's going to be like at the beginning. And I think slow is good for you. I think slow is good for both of you this time. I think that's the way you need to go.